Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. My name is Susan Timchak. Oops, sorry about that. I thought my microphone was a little longer than it was. We'll start this over again, rewind. My name is Susan Timchak and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'd like to welcome you here. Today what I thought I would show to you is how exactly to cut a card to create an actual card out of an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. So let me show you how I do it. So here we are. We have a piece of Stampin' Up! Crumb cake, and you can choose to do your cards two different ways. So let me show you the first way that I do my card. Now I'm using the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, which is, as far as I'm concerned, the most fabulous paper trimmer out there. I've had quite a few paper trimmers, and I have to say I love this the most. It has a little arm that comes out that extends beyond 14. So if you're working with 12 by 12 paper, it's perfect for that. It also has a cutting blade, which is the darker one, and a scoring blade, which is the lighter one. Now when you turn this over, it also has a lock too. So if you go to crops and things, you can lock it right up here. So then this isn't flapping around and you won't end up damaging anything. Now in the back here, it has this little area where you can keep spare blades. These are rotary blades. We used to have a rotary attachment. Actually, if you like rotary attachments, I believe in our clearance rack, you can still get that accessory to add to it, which actually replaces this, and it makes it a rotary cutter instead. We no longer carry that, but I believe it is still in the clearance rack. Okay, so let's get back to paper cutting. So 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and we want to make a standard A2 card. So I'm going to make sure, now you can mark, which I probably should, on here an S for scoring and a C for cutting, so that when you're brand new, you don't end up using the wrong one at the wrong time. And another tip is, I'm not sure, let me see. Oh, you can't see this. Okay. I have to stand up to see. So, okay, another suggestion I would make when cutting paper or scoring paper using your paper cutter is to start from the bottom. When you start from the top to go to cut, sometimes it ends up shifting your cardstock and you don't always get a straight cut. So recommendation, I do have my blades down here at the bottom, and I'm sorry, this is like a very large paper cutter, so in order to get it in the screen, we're going to have to miss some of it. All right, so a tip that I have for you is take your whole piece of 8.5 by 11, so your 11's going this way, 8.5 by that way, and a half of this on the 8.5 part is going to be 4 1/4. So let me see if you could see that up there. No, let me move that down. Okay, unfortunately it's going to be that way, so trust me. So here's your 4, and here's a 4 1/4. We have these great lines that go down, so I want this to be 4 1/4. Okay, so I'm just going to line it right up with that. Now I'm going to take the scoring blade, and I'm going to score lightly. Okay, so now that's scoring my paper in half. So I'm going to turn it, and then I want to cut it at 5 1/2 because this is the 11-inch side. So at the 5 1/2, I'm going to line that up. And again, I'm going to go from the bottom, and I'm going to go right up like that. Now here we are. We have 2 cards already scored. You can use your bone folder to go ahead and score that. But by doing the scoring like this prevents you getting any of those wrinkles. Sometimes when you go to just fold a card, you end up with those wrinkles. So you won't have any of that. And I'm looking to see, I don't have a bone folder right here available, but you would go ahead and run your bone folder along there, and you have the perfect A2 card. Now this is, this way the card can go and open this way. You can also turn it and make it go this way. So there's actually 2 different ways you can create your card. And yes, we're having Dory. If you haven't seen Dory in a while, here is our Dory, and she doesn't have much room to get in there because she's getting so much bigger now. It was just her birthday on Sunday, on Sunday, yeah, Sunday, 4:30 was her birthday, the date 4:30, and she was 1 year old, so she hasn't joined us in a while. So Dory, say hello to my stamping friends out there. All right, now back to why we're here. So, okay, we did this type of card. So now we're going to go, and she loves my sponges, by the way. I, have to tell you. So I'm hoping she doesn't carry away my sponge. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to score this. Let's see. We're going to score it at, how did we do the last one? Boy, I'm having a senior moment. Dory, leave that sponge here. I told you, she's a little thief. So for this one, we scored it at 4.5. So now we want to do what they call a hot dog style. Okay, so we're going to put this in the other way. Now this is the 11 size, which we cut before. But now we're going to go to 5.5. Let me bring my blades down. And we're going to score it at 5.5. Okay, let me move that up there. Then we're going to turn it. And this time we're going to cut it at 4.25. So then when you go to fold it, now you have this way your card can go, or you can turn it and it can go this way. Or you can score it and have a triple fold, or you can, well, it goes on and on. You know how that all goes. So yeah, so now we have 2 cards. So there's 4 different ways you can do your card. This way, and then if you do it the hot dog style, it goes this way or this way. So isn't that fun? I thought so. Okay, so I hope that explains how you can use the paper cutter to cut your cardstock to get 2 full cards and do the scoring all in one. I hope this was helpful. So let me share with you a card. I'm going to do this on the next video, so be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell so that you know when I upload it. So this will be the next video I'm going to show you. This one is a hot dog style, and I did a little bit of layering. Now to do the layering, you just want 1/4 inch to go around. So we have this card that we did before. So now this was 4.25. So I always like to use the line over here, which if you go right to that first line, that's actually 1/4 inch. And with the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, I don't want to get Dory's tail or anything in there. With a Stampin' Up! Trimmer, I wouldn't recommend using any more than 2 pieces of cardstock to cut at a time, because then otherwise you risk the fact of not cutting all the way through. So we're going to actually cut this 1/4 inch off, and then we're going to turn it. Now this was 5.5, so we want to do 5.25. And again, I'm not really good with math, and I'm not really good at reading a ruler, but I certainly can do 1/4 size. So now let's bring in our base card, and here we cut this to be a perfect outline, which pretty much is how this card was done, with just a little outline. I used dimensionals underneath it, but like I said, come back and I'm going to show you how to create this card. It's a monochromatic card layout, which all you need is 1 piece of cardstock and 1 ink color, maybe 2 if you use black for there. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, and be sure to share it with any friends that you may have that you think might be interested in learning more about stamping and Stampin' Up! And paper crafts. So I appreciate you so very much for joining me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.